What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the Mexico Open. Hola, bienvenidos to the Mexico Open 2022. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry with me. We are the Tour Junkies, and we are fashionably late this Monday night. If you're watching live on YouTube, we had some technical difficulties, as we always do. So we're starting a little late. Pat's already pretty irritable and just grumpy. I can see he came in hot from a baseball game, and now he's having technical issues. We're all having technical issues. Pat is going to be fired up tonight. I believe it. What do you think, Pat? You good?
No, I'm going to be fired up tonight. This is going to be a fired up show. It's a Mexico Open. I'm not. I was already texting you earlier. It's hard to get excited about the field this week, but whatever. We're here to bring some entertainment, DB, and maybe fired up Pat is what we need for the Mexico Open.
That's true. And the Zurich, okay, I just want to say this. I'm so glad we took the week off from the Zurich. Although we didn't quite take the week off, we still put out some videos. But I am so grateful for that. And next year, I'm probably going to take the Zurich completely 100% off. I mean, other than Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele winning, yet again, some more favorite short numbers winning, which is always bad for our brand. Other than that, like, what a total coin flip everything was for that tournament. So I'm glad that we didn't do too much there, and next year I think we'll actually do less. So that's I do want to say that about the Zurich. We have a big week this week though, Pat, because we do have some new content coming out this week. We've got brand new blog content coming from multiple different writers this week. Should be up on tourjunkies.com, and everything on tourjunkies.com in terms of blog content is all free. So get you some of that. We're going to have a first-round leader article. We're going to have a weekly kind of game theory strategy type article for DFS and betting. We're going to have a kind of a look-back article on chalk and like winning DFS lineups and ownership stuff that went down. That's going to be coming in addition to the other amazing content being put out every week on the Tour Junkies blog, including Crazy Marcus has now hit his third LPGA Tour winner for free. You could have read his third grade level article last week and hit a 40-1 winner, and it is the third winner in 5 weeks, Pat, for Crazy Marcus.
Hey, good for him. I mean, at least somebody in the TJ organization is hitting some winners.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Thank
not
God
us.
for Marcus. I never thought I'd say that. And I mean, it only took him a year to hit one, but now he's rattling off. He's hot now. Ride it, people.
Did
Ride
he
the hot.
change the equation or something? Did he start just adding more players so that he had a better chance, or is
Yeah.
he just really on a hot streak? I
I
mean,
don't think he added any more players. He's just on a hot streak. And you know what's crazy too is I was in a legal betting state last week, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to fire on some of these LPGA bets because I don't want to fire on the Zurich." Outside of a handful, and they all bombed. But so I picked I picked one girl, Ryan O'Toole, at 35-1, and I picked another girl at 40-1. I can't remember who it was. Right around the range, because the girl that won was 40-1. I think I didn't pick the one girl in that range that Marcus had. I'm very disappointed in that, but props to him. Sorry, I didn't pick the one woman. My bad. I don't know. I'm sorry. They all seem like young ladies to me, So, I say guys and
Sam is very
I say girls.
hypersensitive to
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah, maybe. Yeah,
It's
he is.
nice to have Sam back with us, though. I feel like it's been forever since producer Sam has been with us.
It is. Yes, it is nice. It has been a long time. I was with producer Sam though last week as I traveled to New York City and traveled to Pennsylvania to the site of the very first ever Tour Junkies live golf event. And Pat, I gotta say, I'm even more excited than I was before I got there. Had a great time mixing it up with some, good old rural Eastern Pennsylvania folks. You ever been up there, Pat? Ever been that way?
I have been in Pennsylvania before, and I don't think it was in that same area though, but I could be wrong.
Well, we had a great time. Mountain Valley Golf Course is so excited to host the Tour Junkies and all of the people coming to play. They're very excited. We made a lot of plans for the tournament. A lot of discussion around the Golby's Cup on day one for Friday and the dadgummit, what's the name of it? The support group Saturday Scramble that will happen on Saturday. made a lot of big decisions. We'll be revealing in bits and pieces here as they go. But I did pick up on a few things in Pennsylvania, though, Pat. I'm a man of the people. I mixed it up with the people,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to know some people. And I really, you know how I love accents. I got to kind of try out my Pennsylvania accent, and I learned how to say like certain words. Like window, like a window, like
A window.
roll down your window.
I
And
didn't realize that Pennsylvania was known for like that kind of accent.
oh, buddy,
Like it's not like you were in like South or North Dakota or something. Like I just didn't think
oh,
that we'd be getting some accent talk.
the accents were one of my favorite parts. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I have a sentence that I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read for you in my best Pennsylvania accent, Pat. You can try to tell me what I said. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay.
Ready for this? Jobot, you guys want to get some quartz at the Coney and ride our quads up the Big Dam?
Say it one more time.
Jobot, you guys want to get some quartz at the Coney and ride our quads up the Big Dam?
Joe Bot.
Producer Sam's in the chat telling me it was perfect.
Joe Bot, is that a name or that's like actually something? You said use, which I think is you.
And when I heard my first use, I was awesome. Like I kept waiting on it. And then finally it got there. And this guy was like, "You guys going out there to play?" And I was like, "Oh, he said it." No, Joe Bot is like, yo, bud, kind of thing. Like, yo, buddy.
Joe Bot, you guys want to grab some beers and go to the levee? What is it?
Get some quartz. Get some quartz, like beer, yeah.
Yeah.
At the Coney and ride our quads, our four-wheelers up the Big Dam.
Oh, to the dam. That's right, the levee. So
Ports of Yingling. Yeah. It's we went to Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where Yingling brewery is, where Yingling started. Oh, it's so much fun, man. And I got to you know what? I'm very disappointed in this. I learned what a pierogi was. Do you know what a pierogi is, Pat?
A pierogi.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some sort of sausage or something, but
pierogi.
It's like a fried potato, but it's not a French fry. It looks like a stuffed pasta, but it's like a potato. Anyway, they love them out there. They absolutely love them.
Are you in a different country? What is going on here?
Sometimes it kind of felt that
I
way.
mean, I thought you were going to Pennsylvania. I mean, what the hell?
Parts of Pennsylvania, I think, feel like a different country. Anyway, yeah, I had no idea what a pierogi was.
Oh, look, the person from another country is telling us, "Oh, you don't know what a pierogi is?" In the chat. AC's in the chat. He's from Canada. He's telling us asking us why we don't know what a pierogi is. Well, you're not in our country, so you can't say that.
But yeah, I had no idea. I did fry a pierogi though. We took Flat Pat with us. I took Flat Pat. That was all over Instagram. We got some videos dropping of Flat Pat here soon. I think you'll get a kick. You guys will get a kick out of that. But yeah, it was a good time, man. I can't say I can't say it enough how nice everybody was. And listen, I'm just telling you all, this event's going to be unreal. They actually, Mountain Valley has made an exemption for us for our event. There will be no dress code at our event. No dress code. As long as your primary parts are covered, no dress code.
And I mean, this is a good or a bad. I don't know what.
It could be good or bad. I did want to ask you one thing before we move on. We've got the Golby's Cup, me versus you, Team DB versus Team Pat, Ryder Cup style, 18 holes on the Valley course on a Friday afternoon. There's still 6 spots left for my team, 5 spots left for yours. Your ticket includes all your golf Friday and Saturday, your lunch Friday, your dinner Saturday, your lunch Saturday. Sorry, lunch and dinner both days. It includes all your beer, wine, and Tour Junkies signature cocktails. We're going to party both nights. That's what your ticket includes if you buy the 2-day. But I wanted to ask your thoughts on uniforms. Producer Sam and I were talking about uniforms for my team and your team. And I'm curious what your plan is as the captain of Team Pat, obviously, what you'd like to do, what you're planning on doing for uniforms, what you've told your team so far. Because I know you're communicating with your team in the background, as am I.
Well, I mean, I will say this. I'm waiting for the team to shape up a little more before I really get granular here and like set up like a group team
Yeah.
message or
Yeah, we'll be
whatever.
doing that. Yeah.
But well, first off, I feel like if you look sharp, you feel sharp, you play sharp. Okay, DB.
Okay.
So if you're looking like a ragamuffin out there, if you're wearing flowery looking shirts with leopards on them,
Oh, shots fired.
somebody
Shots
I know, I mean, people aren't really going to take you all that serious. They're going to kind of be like,
Maybe they wanna be underestimated a little bit then.
yeah, and then they get their ass kicked.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we're going to look sharp. We're going to have a probably a blue shirt, maybe. But I've been wearing darker colors lately, as you can see. I'm wearing black tonight. I actually would like to be honest. Now this is popping in my head. Gary Player-esque all black. All black
Wow, that would be a very big change up for you.
with like a Golby logo,
Uh-huh.
just a good Golby logo, but we're probably going to have a patch on the left sleeve because I'm left-handed
Mhm.
with our team motto, which we're going to come up with, and
Mhm.
it's going to be subtle. It's not going to be like a huge patch,
Mhm.
but so that's what I'm envisioning is dark colors, maybe not black, dark colors, Golby logo, team motto on the left shoulder on a patch.
Wow. I mean, who's gonna execute on all that for you? We'll see if that gets done. That's interesting.
I have people. I
I'm
have
sure
people on
Tracy
the team.
Marcus will be
I have
involved in
people
that.
on the team.
I see your boy Dylan G's in the chat. He's ready to go. He's wanting white belts and all that to get in my head. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, interesting to know. Interesting to know what you got planned. It's gonna be a good time. I'm pumped about it. Let's move
Oh,
on though,
geez,
Pat.
Sam, the gain was where it was when I started, and then you told me to turn it up.
Well, when you test your mic, you don't yell like you do when you're on here, and then you start yelling.
Okay. All
So,
right.
anyway, as always, we are presented to you by our friends at Covers. Covers.com is where winning starts. Get all the free analysis, get the free tools, all the betting tools you could ever ask for. A forum with over 500,000 members. They've been doing it for 25 years. They serve over 20 million sports bettors annually, and it's the only place you can find our exclusive head-to-head betting article with some head-to-head bet matchups we like, some top 20s we like, maybe a prop bet or so. That is dropped every Tuesday afternoon on covers.com. You can get it all for free. So check it out, covers.com, where winning starts. Appreciate it, Covers. Let's look at the top of the board of this horrendous field that we have here, Pat. I mean, this is just now, the Mexico Open. I'm excited about it. It is a new event, right? I mean, it's nice to see something different, I guess. We have been getting some early reports from a couple caddies walking the grounds today, and I will say this, Pat. I haven't even had a chance to show them to you because we've been so busy. Um, the place looks like freaking like resort course coastal Augusta National.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty mint.
The conditions are mint. I mean, the grass looks perfect out there. So I mean, it looks like a very well-conditioned golf course for sure. But, I did do a little course breakdown video on YouTube, dropped it on the podcast feed as well, and gave the folks a little bit of intel on what we could find on this golf course. But it does appear to be a bomber's paradise so far. Pretty early on in our discovery of this course, and I'm sure we'll have some press conferences with players giving their feedback and thoughts. But it does look to be a bomber's paradise. Super wide fairways, very minimal rough, resort style golf. Not a lot of trees out there. You just avoid the water on maybe 5 to 6, 7 holes. And then you're good. The greens was one thing I wanted to ask about, and our caddy friend did send us some pictures, the yardage book, pictures of the course today, and said yes, the greens are pretty big. They're not small greens, which I think again lends to just bomb and gouge. I'm not really doing a whole lot outside of ball striking here. It's paspalum from tee to green. I guess you need to know that. Check the weather. Make sure you monitor the wind situation. Could have a weather thing going on. Who knows? It is coastal, so you're going to want to check that. But other than that, man, I think your winning score is going to touch 20 under, and you're just be on the lookout for bombers, ball strikers. I'm really, leaning heavy on longer hitters, and I think they're going to have some long approaches into these holes. There's some really long par fours here, a couple long par fives. There's a short, like one short drivable par four, and maybe one gettable par four or par five for the field. But other than that, man, there's some long holes out there. Any thoughts for you on the course?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I looked at it, to be honest, most of what I looked at was your course breakdown on YouTube because I didn't really get the chance to look at anything else. And again, it's a new course, so I think you can, you know, I almost don't want to get too involved with this course as far as like what I think is going to happen because
Yeah.
we don't really know. I mean, we haven't seen anybody play this course in a tournament. So for me, it's like you got to look at the basics. And maybe that's a good thing that we can kind of get back to the basics a little bit after we've really been grinding at, the Heritage and the Masters for sure, not necessarily last week, and just kind of go with, strokes gained off the tee approach, driving distance for sure, because it's, like you said, wide fairways. I'm not going to get too involved with the putting stats on past problem greens and whatever you may look at it, but I don't think I would get
Nah.
too involved in that. So for me, it's just I want to go with the guys that are fit those boxes. They've got some form, and that's really about it. I mean, I don't really have like a
Yeah.
huge like sophisticated model this week, and I don't think you should.
Yeah, what's crazy is John Rahm. It looks like, based on what I'm seeing now, it looks like John Rahm may have been bet down on DraftKings at least from like 4.5 or 5 to 1, which he opened at. He's now 3.5 to 1, or it could have been the Daniel Berger withdrawal. That may have been what happened. But he's now 3.5 to 1, and then it jumps from on DraftKings at least. It jumps from 3.5 to 1 to 20 to 1 for Abe Answer, Gary Woodland, Cameron Tringali, and Kevin Na at 20 to 1. Kind of wild. And obviously, like DFS, I think the very first decision anybody's going to make this week is are we playing John Rahm or are we not? Because that's kind of the play. I am definitely on team absolutely not. I am not playing John Rahm at 3.5 to 1. I said this on the live reaction show today. I mean, if John Rahm hasn't indicated at all this year that he was going to win a golf tournament. Now, do I think John Rahm will win a golf tournament before the year's over? Of course. Probably, yeah. I mean, he's a great player. He's number 3 player in the world. He was just recently number 1 before a couple weeks ago. He's, sure. But he hasn't really given any indication of that so far. He is obviously the head and shoulders class of this field. But at 3.5 to 1, if I miss that, if he wins and I miss it, cool. I can
Yeah.
go.
Are you going to be upset?
No, I can go to I can go to Prize Picks and do like a 2-way power play and get 3.5 to 1 or 3 to 1. Like you can bet a couple of NBA games and make that back
You can bet that all week.
easily. Yeah, this is not like a regular week on tour where the favorites, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 to 1. It's not the same week. So I am not sweating missing on John Rahm whatsoever. But in an event like this with so much variance, a new golf course for everybody to learn, and a birdie fest, it is not smart, I think, to bet John Rahm in this field. I'm assuming you agree.
No, I agree. It's
Okay.
I don't get any. What kind of excitement are you getting out of that anyway? And
Yeah.
like you said, you actually put it perfectly. Like sometimes if a favorite wins and they're like 8, 9, 10 to 1,
Yeah.
I feel a little like,
Yeah.
I wish I would have thrown a little bit on that. This I don't really care. Like if he wins, it's going to be like, okay, whatever.
Right.
I didn't put anything. So what?
Right. Now, normally in our ranges, we kind of start in this up to 25 to 1 range. I have no one. I'm not playing. I'm not. Now, there's a name in here that I'm betting. Actually, maybe a couple I would consider. But not at 25 to 1. There's a better number elsewhere. Is there anyone in here that their best number is at 25 to 1 that you're willing to fire on in this thing?
Well, yeah. Unless you because I feel like we might be thinking about the same person, but there might be a better number. But Tony Finau at 25 to 1 was
That's not who I was talking about, but I
I
will
think
say,
you play Finau at 25-1. I mean, look, his
yeah.
only other real tour event win was on a course. Well, not
Well, no,
similar.
he won last year, the Northern Trust.
Oh, that's right. He won the Northern Trust, but you know what I mean.
For a
Before
long
that,
time, his only win was Puerto Rico.
yeah, on Paspalum, I believe. Um, but he's still been playing better. Like Finau had a long stretch where it felt like he just wasn't doing anything good at all. But you look at his last two events: T35 at the Masters, T29 at Valero. He certainly is going to check some boxes here for you when you're looking at strokes gained off the tee, approach. Hits it plenty long off the tee. He's 14th in the field in opportunities gained, so he's given himself some birdie looks. So I think at 25-1, Finau now if you can get a better number than that, then go with that. But I think he makes some sense there, and that's about the only other bet that I would make.
Yeah, that's the best number I see. And I will say when I was doing the live reaction show this morning, I did not really get excited about Finau, but the more I started looking at it, the more I started thinking about it, the more I can kind of come around on it.
I mean, think about this field too. This is not. I mean, despite the fact what your thoughts may be on Tony Finau with betting him or playing him or whatever else,
Yeah.
this is a different, you know, set of circumstances than
Yeah.
like if we're talking about a normal PGA Tour event. It just really is.
Yeah, and what I saw is I started looking at him on a detailed breakdown of his strokes gained summary on Fantasy National, and I started seeing like lately he's especially in 2022, he's really struggled around the greens, which is normally, if you look at his long-term form around the greens, normally a place where he gains strokes. He's really struggled around the greens. His irons have continued to be strong. His off the tee play continued to be strong. His putting not been great, but his putting's never really been all that great. So and off the or scrambling around the green is definitely something that I am not putting any thought into here. One of the other things our caddy friend told us today is that they're not really a lot of runoffs or like really tough collection areas or anything around these greens so far that he'd seen. And they're big greens. So like, I mean, and plus like with all the birdie fest, I think this may be, unless wind becomes a big factor, you don't want somebody that's relying on that. So I think from tee to green, he's interesting to me. And we know that bad putters win on Paspalum. Victor Hovland won on Paspalum. Tony Finau won on Paspalum, years ago. So I don't know. I think he is in play at 25-1, and I came around on him after digging in and looking a little deeper after the first look show. All right, so let's move on to the next tier. In this mid-range, there's definitely these next two ranges, because I will say this, like, even though it's long shot season here and we could get a nice long shot winner, the bombs, I don't have a lot of
The
guys.
bombs, you're right. They don't.
It's tough.
Yes, because it's so bad.
I know.
Like,
So these middle two ranges, like from longer than 25-1 up to that 125, 130 number, is really something that's interesting to me. But let me give you the name that I was thinking about. That's 20-1 on DraftKings.
I think I know this.
Well,
one.
if anybody watched the first look show, you're gonna.
I didn't watch that. Sorry.
Who's the name then?
I'm thinking you're going to say Gary Woodland.
No.
Damn. Okay. Well, he's one of mine.
It's Tringali. He's 37-1 on FanDuel, and I think FanDuel's just like teasing me a little bit because it feels like such a value on DraftKings versus DraftKings at 20-1. He's 28-1 on MGM, 30-1 on PointsBet, 37-1 on FanDuel. And I mean, listen, Cameron Tringali is capable of winning on the PGA Tour. He just is. I know he's burned people a lot. He's burned me, all right? But he is a ball striker, and I'm just believing that it can happen for Cameron Tringali, aka Catalina, for those of you in the Nut Hut. So, I think 37-1 is interesting. Not saying that he's going to make my final card, but it's interesting. Pat, what are you doing? Will you just stop? Get out of the chat. Pay attention.
I am paying attention.
Effing show.
I'm paying attention to you. I'm just promoting I'm promoting my T-shirt.
Well, that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, we're talking about picks.
Oh, okay. Let's get into the picks.
Jeez. You have the attention span of like a 6-year-old.
I don't think Cameron Tringale can win. I really don't.
You said the same thing about Luke List.
Well, so maybe that's a good thing. I'm saying this for you. I'm doing this for
good.
you, DB.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, who else do you like in this range as we
Well,
start?
I already mentioned one of them, and Gary Woodland. I think Gary Woodland at 28-1 is somebody that we can get behind here. I mean, obviously
Where's he 28-1? I think he's gotten shorter. He's been bet down.
has he? He was 28-1 on PointsBet when I was looking at it earlier today. I don't have it up in front of me right now.
Now he is 20-1 on PointsBet. His longest number now is 24-1.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I like that quite as much.
It's tough to pull a trigger on anybody shorter.
But Woodland has been playing better this year. I mean, he had that T21 at the Valspar, T8 at Valero, missed the cut at the Masters, but I don't think Augusta National is a great course for him.
He has a terrible record there.
Yeah. Another guy that I think you could look at is Sebastia Munoz. He's there at 33-1. We haven't seen him really since the Players, where he finished T33. But he's another guy. He's number 2 in the field in strokes gained off the tee, top 10 in approach. About where like a guy like Finau is in driving distance in the top 50. He's 6th in opportunities gained, and he is also top 10 in birdie or better percentage. These guys are going to have to score this week. I think Sebastia Munoz at 33-1 is a good pick. I did have Tringale as well, and I've got 2 others.
You did have Tringale, and you just said I don't think he can win.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote down. Maybe I had
Then you also just said it. So like, not only did you write it down, you read it and said it. So you like
forget what I just said. Forget what I just said.
Are you even paying attention to your own self?
I'm not even paying attention to my own self. Yeah. Maybe I wrote down Tringale because that was one of your plays. That's what it was. I wrote down Tringale.
You weren't writing him down because it was me. You weren't even paying attention.
No, I wrote down Tringale because you bet Tringale earlier today, and I wrote down what DB's bets were.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Anyway,
what was my other bet then? If you wrote it down,
you bet. Who was your other bet?
You wrote it down. It's right there. Look.
No, but I didn't write it down in this range. Oh, you bet Aaron Wise because I thought Aaron Wise was idiot. I didn't like Aaron Wise.
You thought he was idiot?
Yeah, I thought that was an idiot.
Aaron Wise is idiot. Why is that funny? All right, well, Aaron Wise was 40-1 when I laid that bet down, and that was after the First Look show, which is a good reason why people should check out the First Look show, because I go through and I make clicks and I say, hey, I think this number's going to get shorter. If you want to hit it. And I hit it at 40-1, and now he's gone down to 32-1 on FanDuel, which I don't think I can do that. I don't know. Maybe I can. Who cares? I mean, yeah, I'll do it. I still like Aaron Wise. I also like Chris Kirk at 35-1. And I was a little surprised. Like, Kirk's distance isn't terrible here. I looked at some of his driving distance numbers. It's not as bad as I thought it was. He's a very much short knocker. But his opportunities gained, strokes gained, approach numbers, very good. The putting is obviously, typically pretty good for him. Sometimes struggles a little bit short in the short term. He struggled a touch, but I like Kirk at 35-1. I like your Munoz play. I think the better values, though, in this range up to 75-1 are 2 names. One is Matt Jones, the Aussie, at 65-1 on DraftKings. Hits it a long way. Great wind player if that kicks up. Decent long-term putter. Short-term, not been great. Irons have been okay. But he's got, I don't know. It just feels like kind of a Matt Jones kind of week. I like him at 65-1, but my favorite play in this range at 70-1 is Lanto Griffin, because I can't stop on Lanto Griffin. The boy just gets me going. His opportunities gained, he's 10th in the field. Strokes gained approach, 15th in the field. Great long iron player. The putter's usually pretty hot. It hadn't been great lately, but long term, very good putter. Um, so Lanto at 70 to 1 feels like something I want to do, even though I know that the finishes haven't been great here lately, but I think he's hitting it. He's hitting it fine. He's just really sucked either around the greens or with the putter. So I'm in on Lanto at 70. And then what are we doing with Cam Champ? I've seen a lot of people ask about Cam Champ. He's been bet down now to 60 to 1. I think he opened at 80. And then he went to 70. Now he's at 60. That's the longest number you have for him on DraftKings. FanDuel has him at 36 to 1, which is kind of interesting here. Obviously, Cam Champ's the longest hitter on the PGA Tour. I counted him out at Augusta, even though I knew that that length would go somewhere at Augusta and then turn around. He played well at Augusta. The last time he won, which was less than a year ago, Cam Champ won. He had horrible form going, and then he finished like 11th the week before he won, and then he won. What did he win, the 3M or something?
Mm-hmm.
And so here he is now. We haven't seen him since the Masters where he finished 10th, and then he comes to a course where he can just absolutely pummel the golf ball. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. It's 60 to 1. It's starting to get in that no-go zone, but again, if you watch the First Look show, I brought him up. He was 70 or 80 to 1 on that show. Like, I think that's a reason why we kind of need to jump on some of these numbers and names that you know are going to be popular, know are going to make some people kind of raise an eyebrow. You need to get on them. Some of those guys, sometimes you got to get on early. If you wait, you get short numbers. So, I don't know. What do you think? Anybody else in that range, and what do you think of those guys?
Well, a lot of your talking right there just
Whenever you're
took up what I was going to say, because I do like Cam Champ. He's on the sheet here. I had him at 70 to 1, but I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it's been bet down to 60 to 1. It's all what I was going to say is it's all over the place with him because he's as short as I think you said 36 to 1 on FanDuel. So I like him though. I like Champ this week. I mean, the Masters, I never thought that the top 10, I was shocked that he had the top 10 there. So he's back in that tournament next year. But I think that for me, Cam Champ makes a lot of sense. If you can still get him, tonight or tomorrow at that 60 to 1 range, I don't know if I would pay much shorter than that, maybe 50 to 1. But this is a good fit for him. And he's a random type golfer that just wins a tournament like this. And again, we're talking about guys like Cam Champ here because of the way this field is. So I do think that, he can win here. Other than that, I don't really. Mark Hubbard is another one. He was right around 70 to 1. He's been playing well on his starts on the Corn Ferry Tour. Played pretty well last week at the Zurich. So I think that he could be another one that you could fire a little bit on. I don't know though. I don't know if
length for him worries me a little bit. The distance, he is not a long hitter.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know what needs to get long?
What's that? Well, I think of one thing.
What's that?
It's okay. Just move on.
Your grass needs to get long, okay? You don't need your grass being all short. You need your grass like growing, okay? Because if it's too short, it could burn out and get ugly. And so things that you need to do to improve your grass are by our friends at Sunday. Okay. DB Sunday.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that spring's already here, so we're feeling that soft grass under our feet, and we got to get our lawns back. Okay. Right now they're short. We need them to get long. Okay. So we need to be using our Sunday lawn care, and thankfully Sunday gets your lawn growing and helps to keep it healthy all season long, okay? Now, you may be worried about all the chemicals you're using to keep your yard looking its best and blah, 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 but, I don't like that sentence. Anyway, Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals, okay? They got custom plans, including fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn. And with the ingredients like seaweed, iron, molasses, you can feel good with kids and pets being around. A lot of natural things going in there, okay?
Oh yeah, if you can't feel good with your kid being around some seaweed, how can you feel good?
Yeah, you need to feel good about your pets and your animals and your peoples. being on the lawn. Okay. So all you have to do is visit getsunday.com, put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. They then use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. Let me tell you, I got one a couple weeks ago. I spread it on my lawn this past weekend. It's so easy to do. They give you these little sprayer things that just pop into the solution. You hook it up to your hose and
Yeah.
you just spray it on your lawn. It's so easy. Um, they got this dandelion stuff because you don't want dandelions in your grass. So they got some stuff that attacks that. So you just attach that ready to use pouch to the garden hose and spray, and it takes less than 15 minutes. Okay. And the stuff really works, DB. I'm telling you, I've been using it for almost a year now. My grass is looking better than it ever has. Okay. Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/junkies. Okay.
There we go.
That's 20% off your custom plan. Getsunday.com/junkies.
Well done, Pat. Well done. Pat ad reads for the win. Check them out, y'all. Check out those people that support the Tour Junkies podcast. And
Yeah.
Sunday's been supporting us like all year. So, um,
They're good. They're good. It really works. I'm telling you. It's good stuff.
yeah.
All right.
Let's work it down to the next range here because I don't have anybody else in there that I'm kind of looking. I mean, like I said, Lanto Griffin's probably one of my favorite plays in terms of a value. Those guys in that 30 range, I don't know. Like, we're gonna have to narrow that down before. I don't feel like I want to bet all of them. Like, I think we're gonna have to narrow that down a little bit before weekend. Champ I'm glad I got him at 70 or whatever. Wise, already got at 40. All right, let's move down. So in this range, up to 130 to 1, starting to get that long shot range. I got three guys. And that's it. And I probably don't even have all three. I probably won't even bet all three. But my boy Thigala right there, 80 to 1. Here's your numbers. 80 to 1. You got Thigala. I'll go ahead and hit it. Lipsky at 100 to 1. And Smotherman, he's actually at he's 110 to 1 on DraftKings. He's 125 to 1 on BetMGM. So you got some values there for those guys. But I like Thigala. I'm back on the Thigala train. Hits it a long way. Got him a little rest after playing all the golf he plays. He plays a lot of golf. He's like Sung Jae right now. So I definitely think Thigala is worth a look at 80 to 1. Lipsky at 100 to 1. I'm telling you what, Lipsky's gonna win a golf tournament on the PGA Tour in the next 12 months or so. I'm calling it. It's kind of weird, but he's gonna win a weird event. All right, it's just gonna happen. At the Zurich, him and Aaron Rye teamed up. And Lipsky, if you look at the foursomes days, round 1 and 3, I believe, he led his squad with Aaron Rye in birdie or better and eagles. He had 9 birdies and 1 eagle in those 2 rounds to kind of carry that team. I think they finished 4th or something, or top 10 or something at the Zurich. So playing well with Aaron Rye, 100 to 1 on Lipsky, and he's a winner, a multiple winner on the Korn Ferry Tour, European Tour, other worldwide tours. The guy can win. I like it. And then Austin Smotherman at 125 on MGM. The guy's checking a lot of boxes right now from a ball striking standpoint. He did the same thing on the Korn Ferry Tour. If you look at what he's done so far in his PGA Tour career, it looks a lot like what he did on the Korn Ferry Tour. Hits it long enough, hits a lot of greens in regulation, all going to come down to the flat stick for him. He's not a good scrambler, but again, I don't think that matters here this week. Don't think you should really count it this week. And then the putter thing is questionable. So I think Smotherman at 125 to 1 on MGM is something I would look at. I do think that one and possibly The God could get bet down. I know those are 2 popular names circling around on Twitter and other things right now. So check it out.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you 2 here, and one of them you've already said. So Thigala was one of mine.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to be popular. I think a lot
He's
of
going
people
to be popular, but I still think it doesn't matter if it's
it doesn't matter
popular
here.
because it's not
But I'm
like
saying, like, I'm surprised his line hasn't moved because he was 80 to 1 this morning when I did that show. Like, it's surprising to me that he's stayed there, but like, I don't know. Some of these other guys have gotten shorter. I don't know. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
So we agree on Thigala.
Yeah, I like Tigla. And how I gotta talk about Wyndham Clark. I mean, I think
Oh god,
we gotta look at Wyndham Clark at 100 to 1.
you gotta sing us.
Um, he did play decent. I'm not gonna sing a song, but he did play decent last week. He has made 3 straight cuts. He is the second longest player in the field if you're looking at the stats behind Cameron Champ. So very long off the tee. Um,
He knows
I
how to get long like grass.
he knows how to get long. And that's the thing but it's not just that, it's that he actually has been playing well lately, for him, making
To
cuts.
his
And when I
credit,
talk about making cuts, this does not count, the Zurich, the team event. I mean, I'm talking about,
well, he
you
did
know,
make the cut at the team event, didn't he?
well, he did, but what I'm saying is,
What
I'm
did he
kind
do?
of throwing that out. He did. He made the cut, yes.
Well, I want
But
to
he
see
was,
what he did on those other days. He played with Tringali. He played with Catalina.
yeah, and they finished top 10?
Yeah, they finished T10.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
But
what.
he's 35th in RBC Heritage, which is not really a course that you think he would play well on at all. So what does
Right.
that tell you? That maybe he's learning to, play a different way. He was T71 at Valero, but then at the Corrales, he was T22. So I think Wyndham Clark at 100 to 1, if we can still get that number, makes a lot of sense here in this range.
I could be talked into Clark a little bit at 100 to 1. I mean, I would hate to miss the Wyndham Clark hit. And this does seem like a Wyndham Clark type deal. I was looking at his performance.
Sam, record that.
I,
Or
I
no,
was,
just go ahead, put the bet down, Sam. Come on.
I was,
Write it down.
I was, I was looking at his performance at the Zurich rounds 1 and 3 when you can see kind of the scores and what happened. Tringali looks like he may have out carried Wyndham a little bit, but not by much. He still had 8 birdies in rounds 1 and 3 to help out the team a little bit. So he's doing something rounds 1 and 3 at the Zurich. So I mean, I could kind of get down with that. Is that all you have in this range?
That's all I have in this range.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, there's just not. And then like these bombs over 130 to 1, I just don't. I mean, these are some squeezy MFers. You know what I mean? I mean, just did I say squeezy? I meant queasy.
I've never heard squeezy.
Or maybe they are squeezy. Some of these guys might be. I mean, I think well, I don't know. No, maybe not. They're not squeezy, but they're queasy. You know, I feel real queasy. Sure, Sam. No. But yeah, yes. Oh god. Distractions. Svensson at 150 to 1. I'm looking at checking a lot of boxes from a ball striking
Mhm.
standpoint. Adam Svensson, and then Seifert at 150 to 1 on DraftKings and BetMGM. Svensson's best numbers on DraftKings too, by the way. I like that. And I'm always a sucker for a triple digit. Okay, if it's triple digits, which normally it is for this guy, triple dig, random AF event, which this is, birdie fest, which this is, wide open fairways, bombs away, rip it, let's go, which this is. Danny Lee at 150 to 1 is usually a guy that I just is kind of it's just a guy, I don't know. I have some sort of attachment. To Danny Lee. But I do think of a lot of guys here in the 150 to 1 range. At least this is a guy who's, he's done something on the PGA Tour before. It's been a long time, but he's done it. Has he ever won, actually? I feel like he's won. Yeah, he's won.
He has.
He won it
It's
once or
funny.
twice.
There is so many names in this range, so many, and yet you mention, and I have 2 written down, and you mentioned one of the guys that I have written down, which is Danny Lee.
Really?
Because I just feel like this could be a tournament that Danny Lee would just win out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, he won the Greenbrier in
Yeah.
2015.
He won it when Kiz was in a playoff with him. Yeah.
That's right. You know what else, though? He's got look at Danny Lee's PGA Tour career. He's got a lot of, like, top 5s, man. Runner-up at the 2018 OHL Mayakoba with Coastal Course, not quite the same as this in terms of length. But he just has, like, these random events where he'll top 5 or he'll contend. He's got a bunch of runner-ups. Runner-up at Bermuda back in October. There you go. That's something. And then finish that up with a 7th at Mayakoba. Another good finish at Mayakoba. So I don't know. I feel like Danny Lee at 150 to 1 is just something we do.
Yeah, another guy that I think that you look at in this range at 160 to 1 is Peter Uihlein. I mean, he is a guy that is, he's made his last couple cuts on tour. He's been playing well on the Corn Ferry Tour in the starts that he has there. He's very long off the tee. I mean, he's top 15 in the field when you look at driving distance. So I think Uline could be an interesting play there at 160 to 1. So that's all I got, really.
Okay. I mean, Uline, okay. Before we get to like prize pick, well, I guess we don't have any prize picks.
We don't have any prize picks plays yet. So.
Top 20 stuff. I do want to ask this: your favorite sports book that you're using for golf betting. If you could put that in the comments, I would be interested to know where people are going to get these lines. Obviously, we usually recommend you shop lines, but where's your favorite book for whatever reason? If you got a unique reason, that would be interesting to know too on YouTube. A lot of times in these YouTube comments, we're doing some research, right? We're trying to help you out. So help us help you. You know what I mean? Leave a comment, favorite sports book. If you can't bet on one right now, then just put a comment of something else. Literally anything. Put the name of your dog, or your pet, any pet. Put that in there. Thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already. That helps us out. That helps us out. That's my Pennsylvania. It helps us out. All right, Pat. We've thrown out some names here. We've got, this is an incredible field, really incredible
It's amazing
for great reasons.
Yes.
But our favorite outrights, the numbers we think you need to get on right now, and some top 20 bets presented to you by Covers. Winning starts at Covers. Let's get on it. My favorite outrights here are probably Matt Jones is 65 to 1, Lanto Griffin at 70 to 1, Sahith Theegala at 80 to 1, and I'll go Smotherman at 125 to 1 on MGM. I just think those numbers are values compared to where they fall and other names around them. Win equity, I guess. Obviously, Smotherman and Theegala are rookies. We haven't seen them, come close. Well, we've seen Theegala come close. Smotherman's been hot right now. So if the putters can get going for those boys, it could happen. So I like those guys outright. Who are your outright bets?
All right, my favorites. I'll go with Tony Finau at 25 to 1 in a field like this. I like him a lot. I will go with I would say Woodland, but I don't like that he got shorter.
Yeah.
I'll go with Sebastia Munoz at 33 to 1.
I like that.
I like Cameron Champ at 70 to 1.
Yep.
Get that now because I think that's going to shorten. And then I'm going to go with Windham Clark, my boy Windham Clark at 100 to 1. I think I even may have talked DB into that one a little bit on the show here. So I'll go with him as an outright as well.
This is going to be a key week for the Nut Hut because with a new course like this, and I'm telling you, man, this is the thing that people don't understand. We have a lot of relationships with people out there, coaches, caddies, players, right? And we get a lot of intel. And it doesn't happen every single week, but there are multiple weeks a year where we get a little nugget or two, and it drops in the caddy info channel there on the Discord server, and it saves you money or it wins you a bunch of money, right? And then it pays for itself, baby. The whole thing pays for itself. It is $90 for the year. I promise you. It will take 1 week. That's it. It will just take 1 week for you to go, yep, that right there just paid for my membership. That caddy info thing, or that game theory strategy thing that somebody brought up in there, or that really sharp player in there like Kobe who gave me a tip, really did it for me.
Yeah.
Or the Wednesday night live chat with Pat and DB and AC and Ben if he's got his computer thing turned on. That right there made my year. I promise you. $90 a year, $10 a month. You will earn it back, and it will only take 1 week. And this could be a week because we're getting a lot of intel this week. We've already confirmed it. It's going to come, and this golf course is new. And it's, so we'll have it. So this will be a good week for the Nut Hut. Top 20s, Pat. We haven't hit any top 20s. I don't really like a lot of like a couple weeks ago we had Matt Naismith at 5.5 to 1 top 20 at RBC, and that felt like the biggest top 20 lock of the century in terms of a bomb, and that was at I think plus 550. I can't get too comfortable with a lot of longer top 20s here even, which is still speaks to just how tough this field is right now. I do like Aaron Wise and Chris Kirk at plus 175. I like Lanto at plus 275. And I'll take Theegala at 3 to 1. Other than that, I'm all right. Those are my favorite top 20s.
Well, I think, if you're looking at top 20s this week, it's just like you just want, to win a little bit of money and, see a positive gain on what you're doing and it's kind of like slow and steady wins the race. So if you're doing that, I think for sure Tony Finau at plus 140 and also Sebastia Munoz at plus 140. I feel like those are two top 20s that I feel very comfortable with. I like
Honestly, I
Cameron
like
Champ.
the Munoz bet more than Finau there. I don't know.
I like
I like
Cameron.
the Munoz bet.
I
Sorry.
like Cameron Champ at plus 250. I think that's a good one as well. I mentioned Mark Hubbard as an outright. If you don't think he's going to win, then bet him at plus 275. I think that's a very reasonable bet for a guy that, has been playing pretty solid all year. If you're not following Hubbard, it's because he's kind of in a weird status right now. So he's playing on the Corn Ferry and the regular tour.
He also, what did he just do he finished 14th with Ryan Brim, which honestly is saying something. Like, that's saying something. But I did look at his performance at the Zurich as well. He had 8 birdies and an eagle on rounds 1 and 3 for the foursomes group. Or sorry, 4-ball, not foursomes.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, made some birdies and eagles last week.
And so here's my last one that I'm gonna give you. And I can't even believe this guy's name is touching the tongue going out of the lips of my mouth because I feel like this is. So I used to say that Luke List was never going to win anybody any money.
Mm-hmm.
This guy may never win anybody any money.
This is what this field does to people.
But I'm still going to talk about him because if you look at the odds for outrights for this guy, it's crazy. I think I saw 80 to 1, 90 to 1, and I think I saw 30 to 1. I'm not kidding.
What?
Patrick Rogers.
Oh, F no.
He is plus 450 as a top 20. I'm telling you, the numbers for him are all over the freaking place. I should cuss. I'm sorry. But
they are, man.
But Patrick Rogers, I gotta find his outrights because they're
as is his form, always all over the place. Like
here, Patrick Rogers.
Holy crap, he's 150.
150 to 1 on DK, but he's 65 to 1 on FanDuel.
80 to 1 on PointsBet, 90 to 1 on MGM.
He's all over the place.
What's his top? Well.
So at top 20, he's plus 450. I'm going to feel like I'm missing out if for some reason he finishes up there and I want to win some money on him, then I'm going to bet him in the top 20 because I don't think he's going to win.
You're right, dude. If there's a guy that's been on tour for a minute and never won anybody any money, it is Patrick Rogers now. The mantle has been passed to him.
Yeah.
Golly, this field is it's tough. It's all right. Well, that's our favorite picks, early leans, some top 20 bets presented by Covers. Winning starts at covers.com. And Pat, we don't have any prize picks up right now. No prize.
Not yet. I bet we will tomorrow. They're kind of.
I guess it's the Mexico Open.
I am planning to do the Fantasy Golf Sommelier though tomorrow night.
Good.
It's the Mexico Open. I'm gonna try to do something special. Maybe I'll drink some sangria. I don't know. We'll figure something.
You should, in honor of me, you should make my famous Paloma. That's my go-to drink.
Okay.
All right, that's it for us. Remember, get in the comments. Tell us your favorite sports book. Why? We're gonna do the DFS show. And let's get it, folks. Let's bend over your bookie this week. All right, and we'll see you in the DFS streets and on that podcast. All right, see you.